I think that 1% would not give us too much of an edge because we are one of the lowest in the region, I should say. I mean, compare, say, to India, they are for the time being 25%, and China is between 30 to 37%. So that gives us a slight edge in terms of tariff. But the fact that we are better off than Vietnam and Bangladesh, even 1%, but this sends a signal that, okay, there's something good with Pakistan. I mean, well, you see, everything is relative. If our other exporters are paying the same or even more, so we get, a little bit of advantage. But if we were, say, similar as currently India, China, that would have been very bad, because the margins are not very high. And if we are to pay 6, 7% more, that would have been bad. And also, I should say that you asked about Vietnam. Now, normally Vietnam, okay, tariffs are 20%, but Vietnam is considered in another category because there's a thinking that a lot of Vietnamese exports are transshipped. They are actually Chinese exports, not too much value added. So the rules of origin will be, they're more scrutinized, strongly scrutinized to see if they are not, if any Chinese exports are being rerouted through Vietnam. So that might impact some of the importers in the US who might be a little bit afraid to import from Vietnam compared to, say, Pakistan or Bangladesh. You see, if for the time being, because we've never ever imported oil from US, so this is the first test consignment. But it is light crude, normally better quality with low sulfur and high-end products like gasoline or jet fuel, etc., to produce that. So we will only find out once they have processed the first consignment of this 1 million tons. That's, I think, getting here in October. The thing is, it's 1 million and compared to our annual imports of 140 million. So it's not going to make any difference to the other sources, but it will perhaps be then if we have another source and good quality oil, perhaps it will be good for us to explore this source. I think the previous tariffs already on cotton are zero because for the last few years our cotton imports have been not even 50% of our requirements. So mostly we do import cotton either from US or Brazil or Central Asia. But importing from US is sometimes helpful because then our clothing, etc., whatever we produce can get a preferential access. And also I think our local producer feel that cotton from US is picked up in a more, what should I say, cleaner way, more hygienic or whatever. So the wastage is much less, and so they can produce better quality of output, fabrics, etc., from that cotton. Yes, for most developing countries, normally they in terms of trade, they have trade deficit. I don't see many develop. Maybe later on when they get a little industrialized like China, Vietnam, etc., it can go into surplus. But otherwise, even look at India or any other country, because they're developing, they have to import more machinery and other things and process and send them out. Perhaps if you're producing oil or something, some commodities, then perhaps it will be. So normally, as you said, it's in 2 decades, the first time we had this surplus of 2 points. So that doesn't really matter so much. I mean, it's good to have surplus, but it doesn't really, not very significant thing because if more investment is coming into country, etc., and that balances out the things. I think this imports from US, the kinds of exports that have been coming from US, like you mentioned, cotton, soybean, and maybe there are iron steel scrap, some machinery, things like that. I mean, from US, it's not concentration of any one or two products. Maybe, these products that I just mentioned, maybe they're more than $50 million, but otherwise we get many other products like chemicals and like many other things. So I don't think any of those products are competing with our local industry. And so I do not really see a serious problem there. Well, I'll just say that, I think the good thing will be that there are hints that US will be investing more in Pakistan and, in exploration of oil and gas and minerals and Reko, etc. So we should be looking forward to this investment coming into the country.